Hello again, folks. We're back for another fresh start, and I'm here with a spreadsheet full of builds and useful info for you to keep handy. It's a document I've been using for a long time, but I've made some changes and added the latest stuff from Aeternum to make it public and helpful for the community. There's quite a lot to cover, so I'll try to go quickly. At the top, you'll find links you'll need. New World Database and NWBuddy will be your best friends, because as a general rule, you can't always trust the in-game tooltips. For example, Gemstone Dust and Oak Flesh Balm no longer provide flat damage reduction. That was a year ago, before the Fortify rework. Now, both consumables increase armor values, meaning now they're more effective in heavy load, but less so in light load. Here's the link to the map, very useful to find resources, and in these other two links, you can check the house locations and tiers. This spreadsheet will help you optimize your loadout. If you make a copy of the document, you can select what you need from here. In this link, I've added an image I made explaining how critical chance works now. It used to be different, so if you're returning after some time, you might want to take a look. Here's a list of all the weapon perks, separated by category, with links to the New World Database and to NWBuddy under Details. Base stats for all weapons and shields. Loadout details. A small note on daily gold bags that will be good to know in fresh start servers. Also, the archetypes. Anything marked in red is unique to that archetype. I mean, is the only archetype with the boost to that specific trade skill. Quick note about how to navigate the document on PC. To search the document, just use Ctrl plus F. You can hold Ctrl and scroll your mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and find the best zoom for your screen. Hold Shift and scroll the wheel to move left and right. Here, this beautiful graphic explaining how the endgame loop works to get 725 gear score items. Also, here's a list of artifacts, organized by where to find them, and further down by loadout and weapon category, so it's easier to locate and understand your options. I've also mentioned a few artifacts I highly recommend going after while the server populations are high and it's easy to find large groups. One thing that changed a while ago regarding artifact drops is that there's now a luck protection system, which should make it much easier to get them. In this other tab, you'll find detailed information on where to obtain each piece of crafting gear. I've also added some additional items that might be of interest, as well as sets you can farm from mobs along the way. At the bottom, there's a brief note about Artisan's tools, since no one seems to talk about them. They're really cheap and basically best in slot because of the perks they come with. The next upgrade would be ones with the alignment perk, but those are pretty expensive, so you'll want to get Artisan's tools first. While we're on the topic of Artisan's crafting, I'll give an honorable mention to rings and life staffs. There's also a shield with an illegal combo of vicious and keen, which you can pair with a common sword like the Keratin longsword. Now, moving towards the end, we have tables with the diminishing returns for attributes if you go over 350 points. You'll also find details on damage falloff with bows, and a reference for wars or fort battles, showing how far 40 meters is on the battlefield to maintain optimal damage. And finally, the original purpose of this document, the builds. When it comes to the build details, if something is in bold, it means it's either mandatory or highly recommended to take that perk. Other than that, it's not a huge deal. Like Enchanted Ward or Elemental Aversion, 1 or 2 health perks, the build will work regardless. I might make another video explaining how, with the right balance, you can use most of the defensive perks and still get similar results. You'll also find links to NWBuddy with the full build details, and I've added screenshots of the new skill trees. Once NWBuddy updates to the latest version, I'll update the links. I've included video links as well. Not all of them are mine. Some are from other players using the same builds. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that I'll leave links to websites from other content creators, where you can find more builds. Be sure to check them out if you haven't done so already. That's all. Have a good day. Bye. Like and subscribe.